I'm Big Elvis, the Chef Rosenberg.
I'm Ulric.
And we are here. Is anyone else with us? Nope. I don't see nobody back there. Nobody in the back seat? Nope. It's just us. It's just the originals.
OGs in the flesh.
Yeah, the originals in the flesh. Now, what we're gonna do is no, I think I need that to lean it against. No, bring it forward. Let me get it. Okay, that might work. Boom! Chakalaka.
That works.
Who brought in the vodka? Big Elvis, the Chef Rosenberg. I am here. You already know.
It's Ulric. That's it.
I felt it. I felt it.
I learned what the whoa was from some kids.
I felt it. What the who was?
The whoa.
What's the whoa?
It's you do something, you density move it, and then you like gather it up. Like
That's Black Rob.
What are you talking about? Black Rob? You're talking about Black Rob from Take This Money? Ain't no way.
Yeah.
Yeah, but no, that's not
That was all whoa.
Oh, like whoa.
Like
No. The whoa was like a thing. It's like you're doing something and you go like this, or something, or you go or you knock yourself. Yeah, I bet Cody knows what it is.
Right. It's a six. You're an educator, and this is your sixth grade class.
Yeah.
And in your sixth grade class, they're teaching you all these cool little things.
No. This came up in one conversation because I didn't actually know what it was. I was doing, and apparently what I was doing, what I understood to be was gathering stuff up, and now you have it. But apparently you're just doing something, and then I don't know, I don't get it.
So you do the motions, and then it's like you hit yourself in the head. Yeah. You that's an old breakdancing move. I never heard it go whoa. Yeah, but it's like, where you're like,
Oh yeah. It's like that. But you're a little more, but you're loose at first, and then you get it. You're not like
You're totally like you're flowing, liquid, and then you're bang.
That was it.
Bang. You're whoa. You're all woed up.
Quite a zesty dance.
It was zesty. Oh, you saying the one I just gave was zesty?
No offense.
It's all right. I could be zesty like that,
And premium black music.
You can try to marginalize me all you want, Ulric. It's fine. I'm not gonna be offended.
Marginalize me, surprise me.
You call me.
Magnetize
What
me.
would happen if one of your students says the word zesty?
No, we too strict over there. So even if it's implied, something that would imply some type of homophobia, they'd probably get suspended
For saying zesty. If they say, Mr. Ulric, this kid over here is every time he talks, he's all super zesty.
That just wouldn't happen.
You get
That
suspended. You
that
get
wouldn't
suspended.
happen.
Is what you say. Right?
No. I mean that like they're so the kids wouldn't have the balls to do that. Not at this point.
That's
Hey, actually, that lady's not as the gross as I thought she was. But anyways,
I think she's about as gross as we said earlier. And we say that respectfully. We were people watching while we were, impatiently waiting for me to, get the thumbnail going.
Yeah. Hey,
But it's all right. What you gonna do?
Been awake since like 4:45, man. The noise.
You're not gonna start that.
All right, fine. You win.
You're not gonna start that. All right. Ulric has been up since 4:30 in the morning. Please don't start.
I'm not tired. I mean, I got energy. I got plenty of energy.
Yeah, because how long does it take for you to cross town?
Somebody asked me, would the kids get suspended for using the N-word though? That sounds almost mic droppy. Is this Daniel B pretending to be someone else?
No.
Would the kids?
Daniel's too busy at an event somewhere, I'm sure.
Gotcha.
I'm sure he's at an event. There's Moose Boosh.
And yes, they would definitely be suspended for using the N-word.
Definitely, right?
Definitely. Yeah, there's more Africans than African Americans at that school. Actually, probably an equal number.
Equal number of Africans
to African Americans.
And these are all West Africans.
Yeah.
There's no South Africans or none of those uppity Africans like that, right?
I don't know.
I'm messing with you. I don't necessarily know about the uppity version of the Africans.
No, that I mean, my aunt's pretty uppity. My mom's pretty uppity in her own way.
Right.
Yeah, it's just
and they're what? And Sierra Leone is considered what part of Africa?
West Africa.
West
It's
Africa.
all. It's the. I'm pretty sure it's the furthest west. Yeah.
And you know how the African American, the black man, is worth $700. 200 of that is liquid. The other 500, they include, the federal government included the couch when they did the census, and they said, people were like, did you include the couch and anyone else? They're like, no. So they included the couch, so 700.
Wait, so your network, your network, I know your network is all your property combined,
Yeah.
all the.
It's like $700. Whereas the West African is 190,000. I'm not saying you are part of that.
But I don't.
I'm
think,
just saying that I don't think you got 190,000 liquid.
Yeah, I mean,
but I actually know you don't have 190,000 liquid.
Well, Elvis, now you're shocking them.
It would be nice to have a friend who was 190,000 liquid, though.
Yeah, wouldn't it be?
Yeah. I always wish, like I told my son, I says, don't have any poor friends. Is that wrong to tell my child not to have any poor friends? See, I suffer from being the guy who had all the money. Well, not all the money, the most money of all my friends.
Gotcha.
So
you sound very modest and relatable through this podcast.
Modest and relatable. But when I say have the most money, I'm talking about pennies. I'm talking about like 10 grand, 15 grand. I'm talking about nothing. No life-changing money. I had the most of the no life-changing money. It was crazy. It's horrible. It's horrible. I always wish I had friends who had like more money. Like, even though the doc, he has more money than us, but he's not trying to move no money.
I mean, yeah.
There's some people who you know what I need? I need friends like Dana White. Dana White?
Yeah, but
Dana White was like this. I'm in debt. I owe a lot of money. And I got no money. But I got this guy who's trying to sell the UFC. So we get to keep, it's really just the name and the octagon. We get to like basically hold on to the name. I need $2 million. And they're like, all right, well, let me call the other 4 other friends of mine to see if we can come up with the money.
I'm sure
how does a person get a friend like that? What does it take to get friends like that?
Well,
you're educated. What would you tell your students if they were like, Mr. Ulric, I want to live a life where none of my friends are poor, and I don't want to be the one who makes more money than them. Mind you, they only, gonna make let's say they're gonna make 75 grand a year. You don't want to be the only person. Like, let's say I make 75,000 a year. Why I gotta have more money than everybody around me? They're all making 45, 55, 62.
I mean, there's so many ways to
what would you
answer
tell
that question.
Well, answer it. Come on. I need this answered quickly.
I mean, I think you made the Dana White analogy, but the difference between Dana White had a floor base of what the UFC was going to be before he was able to sell it off.
No, buy it. He went to buy it. Dana White bought the UFC from a guy who owned the UFC.
I thought you were referring to when he was selling it to the what's it for Frida Brothers or whatever.
No,
it is.
Dana
White. Talking
White,
about when he purchased the UFC.
Yeah. Dana White, when he purchased the UFC, was flat broke, in debt, and had no money.
Okay, so you're waiting for my answer. So what do I tell people who want friends who have money? Well, the first step is obtaining a substantial amount of money. So they're likely to be your contemporaries and likely to get in your circle if you're if you start dealing. But if you're trying to not have as much money as the people you're trying to pursue, I don't even, you can be a prostitute, but that, I don't know, but that's fair.
You can't tell a kid that don't even make sense. So you don't know.
I mean, no, yeah, I don't know a lot of things. I don't know how to turn like $10 into $1 billion. I can guess, and that was my best guess.
Prostitution.
That was my best guess. I don't think that should be an aspiration for a child.
I'm going
anyway,
to turn this off and restart this damn thing with that answer.
You started with a weird ass question.
No, it's just that I don't make a lot of money. It's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that I just make more than all my friends, and it's really irritating if I got an idea and there's nothing we can do about it. We can't even move forward.
Well, figure out a better idea to make your original idea less costly.
Figure out a new idea to make the original idea, less costly.
In which, so you wouldn't need to have such a big investor. Or maybe you can go to the same people and maybe your investment will be more reasonable. Or maybe you can just recruit more people of mediocre income. I don't know.
This has nothing to do with the show we're talking about.
No, not at all. But does our conversations ever?
Yeah, we always,
Crowdfunding. There we go. Crowdfunding. I didn't even think of that.
Right, crowdfunding.
I forgot we have technology.
Crowdfunding. Yeah, because, I have such great ideas. I just have no one I can run them to. I don't have anyone that I can say, yo, you got 50? I got 50, you got 50, and our 4 friends got 50. Let's do something. Let's make a move. Not restaurant business shit. None of that crap. None of
but
that.
how do you know it's gonna how do you know whatever's gonna cost as much as it costs? Are you estimating these numbers in your own head?
Well, originally you do, of course, but then you got to write it down. You got to get down to the nitty gritty and say, I don't know, but that's why I'm going non-for-profit now. Now my new move is going to be non-for-profit.
Well, that is a smart way to siphon money out of people. Yeah,
I'm gonna go straight non-for-profit. I'm gonna be schmoozing. I'm gonna have you there.
But then you're gonna need government grants.
I'm gonna have you there.
What's that?
At the party, you're gonna be like, yo, I got a winner. She got a checkbook. Come on. Hey, this is
now. If you're throwing parties, definitely I'll be.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I'm gonna throw parties. I'm gonna have to do non-for-profit.
A non-for-profit party planning business. So then your party planning business has to have a mission.
I'm not going to say what the non-for-profit is.
Yeah.
But I've been working on this non-for-profit for years, mostly in my head, of course. But I've run this non-for-profit by my cousin, the grant writer. She's the grant writer for the Columbia University.
She's very critical of other people.
Did I say that?
Yeah.
I said I said that she's really good for criticism. Not that she's critical of other people. I'm saying that I like her because I can put something in front of her and tell me, and I want to tell me what's wrong with it. Somebody else, they're going to say, oh, it's great, such a great idea. Oh my God, I wish I could help. I ain't got no money. That's what I'm used to. Whereas for her, she's going to be like, no, this, you got to move that here, move that there. This doesn't work. That's not going to work. Nobody's going to go for this. So she's, and when I say she's not a grant writer, she's in charge of approving grants, and she's the head NHIC in this building. So, I've talked to her, and I've, told her about this idea that I have, and it's an amazing idea. It's a totally amazing idea. Not like the idea that I ran past you today with the HR.
Gotcha.
And that I told Ulric about an idea that I had, which actually honestly just popped in my head as we were speaking about how HR should have these programs where you go there, they have the class, and they break down how men and women are going to react, because they keep saying just be professional, you can't have relationships, they don't want you to cross any lines, but they don't tell you that certain environments create certain feelings that are not necessarily real. They're just emotions that happen because two people are in the same space.
Wait, you don't think anything you feel isn't real?
Everything you feel isn't real?
Yeah, it's funny because I was hearing an argument about this. Just because someone said just because you feel it doesn't mean it's not real.
Doesn't mean it is real?
Doesn't mean it is real just because you feel it. Yeah.
Yeah. It's like
I didn't even understand.
Yeah, you know how somebody says, "Oh, I like that person over there." That's not real because you like an idea in your head. You haven't worked out all the kinks of this human being or this person. You don't even know this person. You're just looking at the outside, or maybe there was like that je ne sais quoi. You have that, this something about that person, and you're thinking like, oh, but no, it's not that. It's the environment. You push into this situation. You're in an office building together, like anyway, men and women, I just think need to be told how easy it is to believe you're thinking something that you're really not, or feeling some way that you're really not. So yes, I would.
Gotcha.
To that argument, I would say yes to that. You don't, what's a feeling? Come on, let's be mature here. But I think it's stuff that people need to be taught. Like when you go to therapy, people are inclined to fall for their therapist. That's
They're
like a
inclined
very
to what? Their therapist?
fall for their therapist. They'll fall in love with their therapist.
I
That's
can
a
see
very
that. I can see
common
that
thing.
happening.
Therapists can't take that serious. Therapists have to understand that in this environment, in this private place, in this safe space, you're going to believe that you are like falling for this therapist, but you're really not. You're actually it's the environment. It's a situation. But anyway, I digress from that. But I am going to go non-for-profit. To me, I think that's truly where the money's going to be. And then you get to do good for people. You get to really, put people in help. You're helping with everything. You're helping with, what's that called? You're helping with the economy, so to speak. You're providing jobs and things like that, stability. And,
Jobs,
people able to go to the
jobs.
restaurants, and people able to go to, put their kids in private schools. All these things are a necessary, good way to take a non-for-profit and move forward with it. Then as me being CEO, I get to, I get to be hard on the person running the business. No, I'm teasing. That's what they did with my cousin. She used to run all these non-for-profits, and they were like cracking the whip on her. And it was so sad because like she was like running the whole place, and the boss is like in their BMW in their 3-car garage house, calling everything and micromanaging. It was just crazy. But anyway, I want you. Now we're gonna kind of start the show.
There we go.
And this show here, do I preface this? Like, do I talk about what we're gonna hear?
We're like almost 100
Because
episodes in.
Ulric knows nothing about what's happening. I just sent him the email, and we're gonna play the first 11 minutes of it.
Okay.
Okay, and this is trending news. This is premium black news, and give it an opportunity here. Okay, this is a story that you might have heard a million times or for the first time. I want you to understand that here at Premium Black News, we don't need a third person like we usually have, and we're going to discuss it. We're going to take a deep dive into this 11 minutes. So Ulric is going to play it.
All right. Now, should they be seeing this?
Yeah, we'll play. We'll show a little bit of it.
And became a single mom at 23. So basically, I was living. It's not fun, by the way. So I was living in Georgia with her dad. We had like our own life, our own apartment, our own everything, obviously. When I got pregnant, I was like, okay, having kids gonna be hard because my parents live in Michigan. So he was like, okay, let's just move up to Michigan. You can have help with your parents, whatever, da-da-da-da. We mutually agreed to come to Michigan, right? So we moved to Michigan together. He gets like super depressed. I get super depressed because obviously like I'm towards the end of the pregnancy. I'm big as fuck. I just was not thriving. I wasn't happy at all. Like I left my job, I left my apartment, I left all my friends in Georgia. So anyways, we move up here. We just were not clicking. We were not getting along. He was being so mean to me. Like seriously, just so mean. Like that's all I can say. So finally.
What does someone say that you agree?
She looks 14 years old.
She does look super young, right? She's like 20 or 21.
My birthday's in Valentine's Day, so 4 days before my birthday. He was like, yeah, I'm leaving tomorrow. And I can't explain it. But anyways, long story short, he's like, I'm leaving. I'm like, okay, whatever, like, go. He's like, tell me if you want to be in a relationship, because if not, like, I'm leaving. And I was like, no, go, like, whatever the fuck. I didn't really, a bitch did not think he was gonna leave, okay? In the morning, he packed everything up and he left. He literally just like kissed Gianna and was just like, yeah, I'm not doing this. He didn't take his clothes. He didn't take his shoes. He didn't take like anything. He didn't take his kid. He didn't take me.
I mean, he said it.
And he just like hopped on the road and drove back to Georgia. And then this is 4 days before my 23rd birthday, so I was 22. Finally, Valentine's Day rolls around, which is my birthday, 4 days after he ditched me. I found out he moved in with his ex. And they have a kid. Well, he has 6 kids. Yeah, we haven't seen him since. So it's just us now. We're just vibing together. I love her. If you guys see him, he's somewhere in Atlanta, so just let me know. Tell him he forgot his kid. Part 2 on how I became a single mom at 22. Or no, yeah. Yeah, I was 22. Oh my god, so yeah. So you guys know how he left. He went back to Georgia. He moved in with his ex-girlfriend, whatever. But let's backtrack to the day that he left. And I'm going to make her bottle while we're doing this because she's about to go to sleep. Sad, I'm about to go to sleep because it's 7:30 and that's my bedtime. But yeah, so he left. He left all his shit. Like I said, he left his whole life behind. His clothes, his shoes. He left his kid. He left me. I thought we were like gonna get married or whatever, but I think that when I got like pregnant, I became unattracted to him. And then I ended up like having to take some time off towards the end of my pregnancy. So I like wasn't making any money or anything, so I was like useless to him at that point, I guess. I don't really know. And then I had an emergency C-section, so when I had that emergency C-section, I know he didn't like my body. So hence why I feel like he was depressed, because I just went from being like happy, silly, little old me to, I don't know, I was just like so sad and depressed. But I was like getting there. I was like slowly like getting my life back together and back on track.
Let me just say this. Why do women believe that a man is going to look at a stretch mark or a C-section scar and be like, I'm so unattracted to this woman right now? Like, are you serious? Like, men are not like that.
Yeah, I think what she was projecting her insecurities on him constantly. So she probably thought that he believed that she was gross. So she probably like, you're not even into me. You know, look.
Yeah.
And that probably started annoying the crap out of her.
In 18 hours.
Yeah, because you won't shut the hell up.
And coming out of postpartum, so I was a month postpartum, and she was 30 days old when he decided to leave. He literally just basically got on the phone with his mom, and she was just telling him, like, I think you're still hung up on your ex. I think this is why you and Morgan won't work out, and da-da-da-da-da. And he, literally, the day he left, he would not look at me, you guys. Like, this is so embarrassing to say, but I dropped to my knees begging him to stay because I was so scared. I had only been a mom for 30 days. I was straight out of a C-section, so I couldn't even, like, move around. Yeah, it was so bad. Yeah, so he just left, like, and I remember I
leisurely,
called him,
like she dropped to a
times before he,
and then she automated, she slipped down.
Yeah, I think he was like blocking me like most of the times, so I just had no contact with him for most of the drive there, which really sucked because I was like sitting in my room like literally like, should I die now? But no, that's not the answer. That's not the answer. Don't do that. Yeah, so
you don't have any answers.
Like 3 weeks. I lost a lot of weight.
How do you know what the answer is?
Maybe that's my birthday, which is kind of like an asshole thing to me, because he literally moved in with his ex on the same day that he sent me flowers. Say, yeah, that was rude. She's like, girl, hurry up. Here, Gigi, you want your bottle? She's gonna go to sleep after this. Yeah, I can grab my own bottle and go to sleep. Good job.
Yeah, I feel sorry for this baby.
So I love you, Gigi. Oh my goodness, this is so cute. But have a good night. That was just part 2. Okay, grab a drink while I tell you guys a story time of how I met the random man from Atlanta. So, I was 21, I moved to Georgia.
With her, man. She's killing me, man.
You know what's so crazy? Is that when I first heard this, I was screaming and kicking the whole way. I was like, I don't want to hear this. This is, by the way, sent to us by a subscriber. And a subscriber sent this to us, and they were like, you got to get past the first 4 minutes, because I was kicking and screaming like, I don't want to hear this, but it gets better. All right. So
that's a good preface for the audience.
Right.
I had my own apartment. Me and my cousins. I lived on the 3rd floor. He lived on the 1st floor, right? So before he lived on the 1st floor. I had my own apartment. Me and my cousins. I lived on the 3rd floor. cousins. I lived on the 3rd floor. He lived on the 1st floor, right? So I worked from home at that time. I was mortgage banking, and I loved being outside, so I would always go downstairs and eat in my car because I didn't like have a balcony or anything. He would always come to my door and like just say stuff like, "Can we hang out?" or like, you know, like, "What's your name? I want to get to know you," type stuff. And I was like so terrified of him, you guys. Like, and he had this little pit bull that he would like take everywhere he went, but like not on a leash. He would always be outside every single time I got home. So I would call my dad, like, "Dad, stay on the phone with me. Like, this kid is creeping me out." And he wasn't a kid, by the way. He's like almost 30 years old. So anyways, I feel like I was so like afraid of him because this was like my first relationship. So he started like coming around and we would like hang out with our friends. Like, and then obviously we were like in a college type like environment. So everybody was like mingling and everybody was always trying to like get us to be together. And I was like, no, like I'm not giving him a chance. Like I just totally like, he's just not my type. Finally, I started like actually kind of liking him, and I was like, okay, like I could see this like happening. He caught feelings. He finally asked me to be his girlfriend, and I said yes, whatever. He never really went on a date, like where you like dress up and like do all that. Like he used to always like hang out. Like he would take me to the hood.
Now you see that coming off? This reveals a new layer of skin. I gotta make sure.
We would go like hang out with his friends. He because he sold stuff to the town. That's all that I could say. This sounds so bad.
Yeah.
Anyways, sometimes like go get food together, like whatever, go to like the bar or something, like, you know, normal people things. Finally everything like just stopped. Like there was literally like, I remember 6 months in a row I was pregnant too, where I was begging him to take me on a date, like, please, like, let's go for a walk. You don't have to spend money on me. Like I just want to spend time with you. Like it was so bad. I had no friends because it was like to the point where I couldn't just go hang out with friends because he monitored and controlled every single thing that I did of every single part of the day. Like I'm not kidding. If I was like ever to go hang out with a friend or something, it was like, oh, you're cheating on me. Like, but he could like spend all of his time in the club or like do whatever he wanted. There was red flags, don't get me wrong, but like when you're literally so in love and on top of that you're so young, you're so far away from all of your family and you're pregnant.
What are you even doing?
She's like, it gets better. So we got this young lady who's neighbor on the 3rd floor, or the 1st floor. She's on the 3rd. She doesn't have a balcony, so she's living this college-style lifestyle, which basically means she has a bunch of roommates.
And she loves to be outside,
right?
but she eats
So
in the car.
she's in the car eating, right? But why you not eating outside? And you're in Atlanta. You don't have to be in the car. I guess she wanted the AC. I don't know, but we got this car. We got this guy. He's her neighbor, someone who she's terrified of, who happens to be her roommate's drug dealer, who wins her over with his persistence. And then she falls madly in love with this man, who she finds out later on, after she has his baby, that he had 6 other children. Okay, let's continue.
Okay.
I was depressed, okay? First times where I literally felt like he was the only person that I had, like, so I just listened to everything that he would say, and that was it. And like, he's much older than me. He used to always try and like little girl me, even though like I was basically paying most of the bills all the time. Like I was the one doing the dishes, the laundry, like literally everything. And he would still try and like little girl me and tell everybody that I'm like so annoying to him. And that's why he would like run to the club and like spend all of his money at the club on the strippers. And like, mind you, I got really real when like I found out that I was pregnant, and I was like, dude, like we need to start like saving money. Like this is real. Like we're gonna have a kid, like a mini us. And he just totally like didn't care. Like there were signs that he was gonna leave me for sure, obviously, but I didn't want it to happen. Like I was hanging on by a thread. Because anyways, towards the end of our relationship, he did go on a date. It wasn't with me though. He told me, hey, I'm gonna go out like with my sisters tonight, like my blood sisters. I'll be back later. I was like, okay, cool. Like that's perfectly fine. Like I'm not gonna stop you from going to hang out with your sisters. Come to find out, he went out with strippers who are not his blood sisters, by the way, because my cousin sent it to me, and she was like, hey, like, is this him? And I was like, that is him. And this was the same cousin who ended up sending me that he went to a whole baby shower for his baby while I was pregnant. Just stupid. I was very, very, very stupid. Don't be like me. That's all that I can say. And take your birth control so you don't end up with a kid from a random man in Atlanta. Listen up, y'all. I am not having a good time right now, okay? My titty milk is leaking. I'm literally a hot mess. My kid doesn't match. I love this comment right here.
You said my kid doesn't match?
Yeah, my kid doesn't match.
First off, I am not
Does she mean like the clothes?
Yes.
That is a lot of unnecessary money when I don't even get child support in the first place.
Racial.
Second off, I did try and put him on child support, and he basically told him he didn't live there. It never went through. He told me I was disrespecting his girlfriend's house when they went to serve him papers. And then he also told me if it ever does go through, he'll just quit his job. And then on top of that, I think you guys are forgetting he doesn't have one kid, he doesn't have two kids, he doesn't have three kids, he doesn't have four kids, he doesn't have five kids. He has 6 kids. So child support would literally
That's
be
a
like
seventh or
$1
that's a
each,
sixth?
and
It's 7.
and some animal crackers, if we're lucky. Not the ones with the frosting, the ones without, okay? I do have merch coming this weekend, so that's really exciting. But yeah, so that's how my day's going. Have a good day. Bye. Remember to take your birth control. You're going to be looking like me. It's about crack of dawn right now. Literally late as all can freaking be. I have this little bunny right here. His name's Mr. Tom. This pacifier, this computer bag, this purse, this diaper bag, pumping bag. Don't match. My kid doesn't match. We're just not
Oh my
having a fun
god.
time
Yo,
right
that
now,
is
St.
so,
Louis.
that's like one of the most racist things I've ever heard.
But she doesn't mean it to be racist.
You
Happy
sure?
Friday. Great news, you guys.
Because you dress your
guys
kid,
been
doesn't mean your
asking
kid
me,
doesn't
asking me,
match.
asking
That
me,
doesn't make any
asking me.
sense.
Me and Gianna finally have merch coming out.
She says your kid doesn't match because the kid's black.
You saying that her kid doesn't match because the kid is black and
Yeah, my
she's-
kid doesn't match.
Yeah,
Was
she's
her
saying-
videos?
She's saying like the sneakers and the shirt
Was
and the
that
bonnets
ever
are not
recurrent in
matching.
any? I haven't seen one video where she matched in the first place.
Okay.
I don't.
Well, she said she didn't match.
Yeah, they haven't matched in
You
any
know, that's
video.
important to some people is to
What?
match.
Yeah,
the
but
bottom,
they haven't matched
the bottom
once.
of their
That-
gum sneakers with the top of the.
But they haven't matched once. Well, chat,
you
is this racist? Is that racist? My kid doesn't match. I thought that was racial. It's at least racial.
All right, this is the last of it. Right?
Look, I got the soul. Some
this
of
is-
Daniel B's soul is.
Tomorrow at 10 a.m. Eastern time, say yay!
Okay.
Asking me and Gianna finally have merch coming out
No
tomorrow.
wonder he left. I agree.
At 10 a.m. Eastern
I
time,
agree.
say yay!
Burn them. Top-notch drone is free. And
Okay.
no one got them. I'll burn them all.
No, fast, don't do it! Anyway, so yeah, we have merch coming tomorrow. I've been working on this literally day and night. I will have the link in my bio tomorrow at 10 a.m. Eastern time. It's going to be on my Instagram. It's going to be on my TikTok. I'm so excited for you guys to see it. Me and Gianna have literally worked our ass off on this. If you guys want to pay child support to G for the random man in Atlanta who left me with his baby, just go buy my merch. And I literally love you guys and I'm obsessed with you guys. And have a great night. You guys got that random man in Atlanta real mad at me today. Real mad at me. He just told me to jump off a cliff. Like, which one, sir? Which one? That's a little bit awkward. Anyways, go buy my merch. He's upset that I made merch that says from a random man in Atlanta. It's been 6 months now since he left me with his child and his t-shirt presses and nothing else. So I made merch out of it using his t-shirt presses and he told me to jump off the cliff. So happy Saturday. Do with that information what you will. Link in my bio if you want to piss him off some more.
Welcome back to my channel, Mothersuckers.
All right.
All right.
So let's give a little credit to the lady whose channel this is, who started this. This is the I Am.
El Eloho? Eloho?
ELOHO. I Am ELOHO.
I don't know what that is.
Yeah, forgive me. And she has 347 subscribers. 347,000 subscribers. Okay? So this woman with the 347,000 subscribers posted this. And this is basically a tale that I've heard this story before. Have you heard this story before?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, this is the story about the girl who meets the drug dealer. And she was afraid of the drug dealer because she's working.
Oh, I don't know about that aspect of it.
She's afraid of the drug dealer. She's scared of him. He's her neighbor. She doesn't want to talk to him. Why does he keep stopping at my car talking to me? Don't you know I'm not attracted to you? You know, I'm attracted to men with 9 to 5 jobs who are law-abiding citizens. But you know, since you keep coming to my car and you keep pursuing me and being persistent, you have chiseled your way into my underwear for the most part. And then this leads to pregnancy. That leads to a live-in situation, and then that leads to the man running for all hell when you get to know the chick, because we seem to be dealing with a highly unstable woman who I don't think definitely
undoubtedly unstable.
Undoubtedly unstable. What do you think about the idea that this woman who's telling this story that we've all heard, and mind you, he's 10 years older than her. Mind you, not only is he 10 years older than her, he's also, she doesn't even know his last name. Not only does she know his last name, she doesn't even know how many kids he has.
How they serve him papers then, though?
She found out through her. Somehow she's not leading.
Gotcha.
She's not giving all the information.
There's semantics. All right. But
what was your question? She had a baby with a man who she didn't know his last name, didn't know how many children he had, didn't know anything about him.
No, she didn't have a baby. She had sex with a man. The baby.
Right. She had sex with a man, and and a child was produced. Now she's trying to get child support from this man, and when she can't, she's asking her followers to buy merch so that they can help raise her child. What say you?
What say you about which part? That the moral implications of what you're doing is.
What do you say about the woman who now has? Wait, let me just say this. Let me.
Well, first, she's right about herself. She's dumb. She's dopey. I mean, young people make bad decisions, but I almost think she's not willing to deal with she didn't think about the consequences of her decisions.
Right.
And now she's still unable to deal with it. It's her fault. She got to take this L.
She has to
take the L. She just got to be a single mother. That's it. That's what she did. She reaps what she sows. You're gonna have sex with a guy you don't know his last name.
What about the responsibility of the guy? Should he be taking care of this child? Should he be paying child support?
Yes.
Really?
Yeah. But it's
coming from you. I find that surprising.
I'm saying. You mean should he pay? I mean, if it's your child, I mean, all right. So I wasn't raised with my father, but I never thought my child owed child support. I don't think.
Right there, and that is okay.
What?
I just want you to glance more here. So,
if it was my child, I would pay child support. So I'm talking about what I would do. But I understand why.
If it's your child, if you meet a chick, you get her pregnant, she says, "Yo, I'm pregnant," and you move in with each other to get a place, you realize that you're dealing with a psycho who's very insecure, who's begging you to take her on a walk through the park, who's begging you to do stuff and telling you how unattractive she is and how ugly she is, looking for.
I wouldn't want to be with her, but that's so much now, and it's going to be extremely, unbelievably difficult to, all right. I'll say this: I think he should he should pay child support, given that she shares the child to some extent. If she's playing that nonsense where he gets to see a child once a month and he has to pay any money whatsoever, that's a joke. I think you should get child support. I think he should get whatever he's paying in time with the child if he's going to support the child. I do think that. So I do think she should get child support with a caveat. So I remember last week when we talked about you're talking about, should a person do something? Should a man have sex with a person? Should you hook up with somebody that's
one of your
person
friends
was previously dated?
Yeah, one of your friends' exes.
And I have to think. And now when I'm thinking through things, I think the only way I can speak honestly is is walking through how I would navigate that situation. So I know for a fact I I would pay, I'd be like, all right, I had to deal with this. This is my child, whatever, I'll pay for it. But if there was any petty nonsense whatsoever when it came to, as far as I get to see my child on rarely, or I get to only see the child when she feels happy enough or giving enough to let me see my child, I'm gonna be so petty. I'll stop paying child support so quick it'll make her head spin.
Yeah, but as soon as you stop paying child support,
yeah, I know there are consequences.
Yeah, the
yeah,
laws
but I'm
are
stubborn. I
involved.
deal with consequences. I'm stubborn.
You're stubborn.
Something like, or I would stuff like that. I can see going down a dangerous trajectory.
Right.
Like I can really see some real like I would, if say I didn't pay child support because she was like strong arming me with the child. I can see myself getting so upset that I just do something like drastic. Not like, maybe not to her, just something silly that put me in a bad situation. So I don't know. So
let me just say this. We talked earlier about something random and it kind of has to do with what we're talking about now. Like, you met someone. I hope you're okay with this, but you met someone at a bar, and you only was with that person that one night.
Correct. Oh, I see where this is going.
You never see this person again. Should she track you down and get child support from you somehow, some way?
Well, he dated this chick.
That's
right?
true. He did date.
But I'll indulge that scenario. That'd be tough for me to say. It'd be tough for me to have gotten with her one, even though it takes only once to make a child. Right. So it's hard to really look at this honestly, like, because it definitely takes once to make a child. But I'd definitely be more reluctant, or more, you'd have to, pulling teeth in order to, like, I probably wouldn't believe her. I'm like, you banged me one night and stuff like that. So I don't know. That's tough, man.
Can I tell you what I thought of when I first saw this?
Yeah.
I was thinking just how great America is. That a woman can go on her TikTok and bitch and moan about it's one-sided. We have no idea what his side of the story is.
Yeah.
Her one-sided story, and monetize that.
Yeah, she should. So the fact that she's playing the victim. She's one of the most affluent victims we've ever seen. She's somebody you no longer have to feel sorry for.
Right. Well, I don't feel sorry for her. I never started feeling sorry for her. No, will I?
Oh, I think I think I was actually referencing. Someone said I feel bad for her in the comments.
Right.
But I haven't felt bad from her for a second.
My son and I watched this. And my son was very upset. And I was like, why are you so upset? He's like, because she's using the baby. And I was just like...
Oh, your son could see that?
I was like, how's she using the baby? Yeah, the 12-year-old child I brought into the world. He's an intellectual, I tell you. But my thing is, I was like, tell me what you mean. You got to do better than that. You got to give me something. What are you talking about? He was like, she's using the baby. I don't like it. Because I was like, don't you respect the fact that she's selling merch? I'm proud of her. I'm like exaggerating, but I'm saying I'm super proud of her for being able to to monetize it. She could go in front of a camera, spill her damn guts, and make money off of this situation. Because I've heard this story before. I know about the girl who's having sex with a man who has 6 kids. 6 other children. Shouldn't even know his last name. I know about this woman. This woman is the kind of people this is the woman that I hate. I hate these kind of women. I hate these women that have no accountability, take no responsibility. They fucking scatter brains and they're raising their children.
No, I disagree. I think she's smarter than we understand, given that she always comes on camera. She never is composed or gathered. So she always gets her in a place where she's doing some chore with the baby, where something is hectic.
Feeding the baby.
She knows in order for this to resonate with you when she has to play it, because she can spell.
So we can't have a sleeping baby in the crib.
Yeah, no, of course not. Why not? Why have that? It wouldn't show it. She
I asked my son that. I said, what are you saying, son? We said she should have the baby sleeping in the crib in the other room. He says, yes. And I was just like, well, it wouldn't have the same effect, so maybe she is used. I think you're right. He says, he says, yeah. Every scene, the baby's in it, crying or doing something like what you said. So how do you feel about her using this opportunity, using the baby, having the baby on her lap?
How do I feel? I mean, I don't know how I feel about it. I know that's what's happening. That's unconditionally what's happening. She's using the baby for monetary gain. She's saying for help, but it's for monetary gain. Right. It's not for help, because I mean,
she's monetizing this whole situation.
Over 300,000 subscribers. That's beyond the help. I don't know.
No. The woman who posted this has 357,000 subscribers. This young lady just has a TikTok. I don't know how many subscribers she has on TikTok.
Okay.
Sorry, I didn't clear that.
All right, yeah, all right. That's a big. All right, that's because I in fact, I remember that name, Eliho or something like that.
Yeah, I think we done an episode. We used one of her stuff early in our potting, last year or something like that.
Oh, got you. And I don't like that Eliho was trying to promote this lady then.
Well, I never listened to her commentary. I don't listen to people's commentary.
All right.
I just utilized what she had to say as far as she just showed. I like the fact that she showed all the TikToks and didn't stop and talk in between them.
Oh yeah,
so
yeah.
that was like, she did a lot of work for me. I was like, thank you. So I will be sending a donation to that
Eliho.
Yeah, Eliho. $10 or something like that. Nothing crazy. And I hate this woman, but I do respect that here in this beautiful country that we have, or not even this country, in this timeline, you can get on the camera like this, you can spill your guts one-sided, don't need any receipts, don't need any proof, don't need to have any, this man doesn't have to defend himself in any way, and she can make money off of it. So I'm kind of like, I enjoy that about this country. I enjoy that about this timeline, because you could be in other countries, they have people in Mexico, Peru, Italy, they got people all around the world are on YouTube monetizing their words and their ideals. Like, you and I don't need permission from anyone to do what we're doing.
That's true.
Okay, and we have great sponsors, people that help. Like when I went through that situation with the cops from the 76th precinct when they were doing what they were doing, I had people send me donations.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And it helped out a lot, because it was a $5,000 week for me to get everything back in order, and to have people help me, it felt amazing. So this young lady is, like you said, she's no dummy.
Yeah.
But it just proves that these girls need to just really stay away from these bad boys, these drug dealer kind of guys. These are not the men that you want to just have a baby with. And then it goes to what you talked about, where you were saying, I never heard anyone say we're not matching, and it felt racist. I think that she's just so like she wants her Air Jordan, the bottom of her Air Jordan or her Air Jordan check to match her purse. And she's like, I'm leaving the house without a matching purse. My child's bonnet is not.
She's a bird, so she will look that drug dealer was probably out of her league.
But you don't want to marginalize her as a bird. You want to understand this is our culture.
Yeah, okay. We're also in a bird culture. It's okay to be birdie like that. When you little Jordans and I don't know what have you.
Do you own a pair of Jordans?
I don't.
Neither do I.
Like really bad looking shoes. They look like Transformers or something like that.
Right. Did you recognize my shoes? Did you see how fly these shoes were? Did you see these?
No, they're a little too bright for my taste.
Yeah. This is a whole nother level right here.
That's too bright. I like dark, unassuming shoes.
Yeah, very, very Aspergery of you. The monochromatic Asperger side of you.
I used to think my favorite color, which was shade, was gray, which is so.
Sorry about that.
That's right.
But here's the thing: we got a young lady who. There's more to the story. The guy has to be found, and he has to make a statement, and we got to see what the streets have to say. So we're gonna get back to her in another week or two.
Yeah.
We're gonna. She's gonna.
Oh, actually, you know, I bet one thing. You want to hear something funny? I
Please.
bet you she'd take him back if she came back. I bet you she'd take him back.
Right.
I bet you. And I didn't. All this say would go away in 2
And when you
seconds.
say take them back, they'll move back in together and start a
Definitely.
family.
If he was with it, if he was with it, I guarantee you that it should take all those videos down too. Watch.
And then they could do TikToks together and dances.
No, I don't think he's gonna be with that.
Oh.
He's not gonna be with that. She was begging him not to go. He's
That's
not
what
gonna.
she said.
Yeah,
And she's begging him to take him to. I mean, what a pain. He wasn't attracted to me because of my scar. Are you crazy?
Yeah, she formulated that thought retroactively after
Right.
their relationship.
All right.
Anything to drink.
So I don't have anything for us to drink, dude. I'm sorry, man. Let's just. Can you go a few more minutes?
Yeah,
Maybe I have do I have a drink water in the bag?
I can go a few more. Come on.
Here's the thing. I wanted to talk about that Larry Elder.
All right.
Larry Elder goes on to the Breakfast Club. I sent Ulric that immediately. That it was like 2 a.m. or something like that, right? And then you'd be like, "Damn, dude, 2 a.m. Yeah, that's when things are happening in my mind." And Larry Elder goes on the Breakfast Club with the scammer DJ Envy, the alleged scammer DJ Envy, and with the not alleged, but we call him Leonard McKelvey. Leonard, what's the word they call him?
That's what Charlemagne.
Charlemagne.
Leonard.
Leonard McKelvey.
Leonard.
Lesser charge. Leonard Lesser Charge McKelvey.
Jeez, you talking that Spanish fly thing?
Yeah, the Spanish fly thing. Yeah. See, everyone knows Leonard. Let's not pretend.
He's a creep.
Yeah. Let's not pretend like it's only a small group of people. Look, this man has no social media, and he still knows about that little thing you did. Come on. So Leonard, Lesser Charge McKelvey, and DJ Scammer Envy, allegedly, because DJ Envy has that drama about his
some
real
sensitive
estate
thing going on.
No, he said he was doing all those big seminars telling black people that this is for us. We got to teach us how to make money because they're trying to play. They always come up with these solutions for white supremacy. We're gonna figure out how to beat white supremacy. I figured it out. Give me $49 and you can come to my seminar.
It's always the white blacks who care the most about black people.
Yeah, that beige. That's that beige rage, right? Yeah, it's always the light-skinned guy who's fighting extra hard.
Somehow racism has hit them harder than anybody.
Right. Yeah, and his father was like law enforcement. Stop it.
Yeah, but
so
yo, what happened to what's that lady's name who was on the Breakfast Club with Angela Yee?
She has her own show. She
left
She
them?
parlayed it to her own thing. I think it was. I think she's still under contract with the iHeart people. The iHeart people
Radio?
that own the
No,
Breakfast Club still.
Yeah, they're on they're not on Sirius XM anymore, or they're on iHeart now.
I'm not up to speed. I'm not up to speed.
Because Sirius that's that whole Howard Stern umbrella. That's what.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, we have a guy, Larry Elder, who's a radio personality, who's a book author, who's running for the presidency underneath the Republican.
Yeah. He's running 2024 candidate.
2024 candidate. What was your overall idea of the Breakfast Club, Larry Elder, the conversation?
Larry Elder is one of the smartest people, one of the smartest political commentators you're gonna hear, because all the talking points people say they're right is talking point. He'll explain it to you. He'll explain why A is B. He won't just like spit out racial epithets, or he won't sound like how Charlemagne sounds when it comes to speaking about racial issues. So, he's very articulate. He's very, very well read. He's a former attorney. Smart guy. But so what I thought when I was seeing that is Charlemagne. The first thing I thought is, holy crap! The Kamala Harris dropped Charlemagne like a sack of potatoes or something, because it couldn't have been vice versa. Because now Charlemagne's all of a sudden giving kind of Republican people more ears or more of a platform more oftenly. So I'm assuming he doesn't have the same.
So you're saying that the Breakfast Club normally is a Democratic platform?
Yeah, they wouldn't even have it. They now they've had Republicans in the past, but Larry Elder, they kind of let him go. They treated him with, I mean, that late. All right, let me go back, because I was gonna say they treated him with respect, but no, they bullshitted him. But he handled it so well, it almost seemed like like he was teaching a class full of bad kids, like he was in, like, you know, Morgan Freeman and Lean on Me.
Right.
And Morgan Freeman comes in and like talks down to kids, like, hey, forget you, Morgan Freeman, like F you, Morgan Freeman. And at the end of the movie, they kind of like come around to Morgan Freeman. That's what I kind of saw. So it was similar. It was like a teacher charter school dynamic, actually, but not the charter school I'm at.
Well, you felt that Larry Elder was the teacher.
Yeah.
And these were the students.
Yeah, it was
unruly, disrespectful.
Yeah, exactly. Thanks for putting it.
Unruly, disrespectful. Well, you know, we do have an alleged scammer and criminal, and we do have a lesser charge over there. I don't know who this woman was. But
she was the topic. She was the icing on the cake.
Worst.
Oh, I didn't even get.
She was so freaking rude to this man. No respect.
Oh, let me get. Oh, I haven't even got to her yet. She was the main event out of everything I thought of.
I agree.
The rest of the stuff is just Charlemagne's being Charlemagne, envy. But
whoa! Do you know the whole internet went viral when he told Charlemagne Oh,
the black comment. Oh, why didn't you check Joe Biden? For that.
Exactly.
Oh, they called you the
nigga wake up call, the N-word wake up call, which we had to deal with Daniel B, which I told you is going to be viral soon as enough people see it. What you had to say about that when they were questioning whether or not he's ever had a nigga wake up call.
But let me tell you, with this lady, I was actually ashamed. I was ashamed to watch her speak, because I know she has a kid. She has like a child.
You know what? I was ashamed to watch her speak
like
too.
I was truly
seriously.
secondhand. Like, yeah, not even like it wasn't even like I was anger. It was
you still got your belt on.
Yeah. It wasn't even anger. It was actually like shame. Like, I was like I don't know how she could walk out of house and people can see her. And I don't know what she is and what her role is, if she was just a guest pundit. I don't know if she's a...
Neither do I. I'm unaware of who she is, but I know they have several women that are taking that Angela Yee spot where they have comedians and different commentators.
I don't, like, that was pure, like, embarrassment. Like, she exposed herself in the way that, like, there was one point where she was talking about the systems. And she was trying to have a gotcha moment.
Who created the system?
Who created the system? And
who created these systems that he says these systems are old and antiquated? He's like, these systems that you talk about are old and antiquated, and the people that did it were voted in to do it to you.
Yeah,
that's what he was saying.
Yeah, it's like a child. It's like explaining it to a child. I can't.
Is Larry Elder someone you would? I know that we're not voting, right? You know, we got a lot going on with the voting thing. I'm not saying that, but is he like? Do you see presidential from this man?
No. He's not going to win the nomination. But
no. Forget about that.
Do I see him as a president?
Do you see presidential from this man? Do you see Larry Elder? Could you see this man running a country?
All right, this is weird to say, but as a presidential figure, he's too pragmatic in the way he speaks. The same.
I don't know what pragmatic
means. He's too practical, and kind of logical in his way. He doesn't know how to invoke an emotion. Trump knows how to invoke an emotion. Ronald Reagan how to invoke an emotion.
He showed massive emotion. He was, even though he was stoic, he was emotional.
No, he wouldn't be able to invoke an emotion, because he comes off, and I'm not saying that because I like the guy, and I come off as this too. He comes off as a little, like, arrogant. Like, when somebody would try, he'd be like, he's like, oh gosh, oh boy, like saying stuff like that. Like you need to get past a certain level when you're like when the president. Now Trump is able to get away with this shit. Trump's like a different kind of, I guess, candidate, or he came at the perfect time. But you're gonna have to placate dumb people. I don't think Larry Elder learned how to placate dumb people. So
placate dumb people. Here, sorry, let me just. I don't have my light.
All right, that's good. I'm radiant.
You're radiant, man. You're damn that I just went super beiged. I got super beiged on everybody. What's going on here?
Oh shoot! No, now we should we should just get angry. I hate you, man. All right,
yeah. Well, this this woman. I don't even know her name is. I didn't even take time to remember her name or write it down.
Yeah.
But I was so disappointed on how high school this woman was with her rhetoric.
Yeah.
This was not college level. This was not 101. This was not 2.0, 3.0. This was basic base. The white man has been had his foot on our necks, and they're still on our necks, and there's nothing we can do about it but bring in another Democrat.
Yeah.
And if we bring in a Democrat that's going to give us something, then we're going to win. And I'm all for reparations. He's not for reparations because I don't look at reparations as anything that's being given. It's a debt that's owed. You wrote it down, you say you were going to pay it, then the next guy came after you died and said, nah, fuck that. So I'm against that. The person who said no, that was John Adams. Was that John Adams?
What?
Who came after Lincoln?
Andrew Johnson.
Andrew
Johnson got rid.
Andrew Johnson.
Andrew Johnson got rid of the 40 acres and a mule deal.
Right. So Andrew Johnson is the guy who came in and shut down what was already promised. So when you make promises, I think that in this country if the promise takes 100 years, 200 years, 50 years, 30 years, you should keep your promises, especially as a country. A country should be known to say, we promised something, we're going to finish our promises. But a guy like Larry Elder, he looks at it from a point of a welfare understanding. See, welfare is the worst thing you could ever give a person. That's a joke. You're handing people something for nothing, and then you're adding the weirdest, horrible, most egregious stipulations for them to get it, which is to take the fathers out the home. So it's this huge, horrible.
That's that Lyndon Johnson.
That Lyndon Johnson thing. It's that snowball effect that's happening here. And it's all these good intentions. Massive amounts of good intentions is rolling down the hill, destroying the whole fucking town. Mm-hmm. And everybody's like, so I get where he's coming from, but reparations is not, to me, in my point of view, reparations is not the same as welfare. You see, reparations
it's not the same at all.
Yeah, reparations, but to me, everyone comes at it like that. Who's going to be able to pay for this? If we put all the billions we did to Ukraine, 200, 300 billion in Ukraine, we got it. The money's there. Let's not play that game.
It's more like, what's the appropriate number? Who does it go to is the second thing. Who does the money go to? Does it just go for anybody who's a person of color?
No, it goes to people who directly defend.
Yeah, you're saying ADOS. You're saying I know you're saying
American descendants of slaves.
But how can one not justify? Well, what's it called? I was a direct result. What I'm saying, it just becomes.
Let me tell you,
no black. I don't want to hear any black person talk about how they're feeling. Any mighty black person. If you can, I want to see. This is gonna sound niggas. If any black person can truly draw how slavery has fucked them up, then by all means.
Slavery has fucked a lot of people up, Ulric. You got to stop saying that, because you're thinking of today.
No, television. Television.
It's incremental steps.
No, it's that television. No, it's that television. A kid raised in the 90s, or kid raised in 2000s, or kid raised in the 2010s. The 2010 kid, the kids who was raised in 2010s is going to see the world as far more racist than in the 90s or the 2000s. Like,
You saying that people raised in the 90s don't think the world was racist when crack and all those trucks that was parked into the neighborhoods with guns? You don't think that?
compared to now? No, not at all. I don't think it's even close compared to modern.
You think right now?
I think right now racial relations in general is at a part of probably among the all-time low in recent memory, and I think it's lower than racial relations were in the 90s with the riots, with the OJ, with all these, that they're lower now than they were with all the things. That's my point.
Yes, I agree.
So my point that being said, it's not that anybody has it any any black person has it any worse than the 90s, but they still
but that has nothing to do with reparations. Sorry to cut you off.
No. The whole argument I was going to make.
Let me just tell you, if we're skipping down the street, when the Japanese got the money for the encampments that they were put in California, after
Chinese
the bomb,
internment camps,
the Japanese, the bomb, internment camps, the bombing, these were successful people that got checks. It doesn't have anything to do.
What reparation checks did they get for Hiroshima and Nagasaki?
No, the ones that were here in America that were put in internment camps. They gathered up 50,000 American Japanese people. All those Japanese people wound up getting a check.
Yeah, that was in the Chinese exclusion. Oh, you're talking about that.
They got a check and they were successful. See, this is the problem with it's like you talk about racism in the 90s versus racism right now. Racism got nothing to do with somebody owing some paper. If I owe money, if I owe somebody some money, I cannot go to that person later on and say, "Listen, man, you're doing good right now. I don't gotta pay you." No. If I'm broke or if I got $1 million, you still gotta pay.
The reason I brought up 2000 and compared to the 90s is because a person in more recent times is more likely to. Okay, let me back up, because what I'm saying sounds all over the place. So the reason that. Thank you.
You can finish that.
All right. So the reason why people seem more racist, or why people in the 2000s and the later 2000s feel like it's a more racist time, is because they've been bombarded with propaganda pertaining to how racist this country is.
Right.
And so
with the Black Lives Matter,
with all that stuff,
and all the cops and this racist this. Yes, but
that's where the handicap in their head comes from. It comes from the recent bombarding of media, television, to think that I was handicapped as a black person. You're saying it's money that is owed to them. That's not what the argument for reparations is. It's not known as a debt. It's known as you've caused an impediment on my future. You handicapped me, therefore you owe me in order to put me, and all that. Right. But that's what I'm saying. That's only reparation argument. If you're just saying it as a debt,
that's propaganda.
It doesn't hold weight as a debt argument.
No, it is a debt.
It doesn't hold weight.
It is a debt.
But the debt argument, that nonsensical argument is the only way it even comes to. Go ahead.
The reason why the argument that you're bringing about reparations is in effect is so that people like Larry Elder and yourself respectfully can say what you're saying right now. It is a debt that someone promised a group of people that have ancestors that need to be paid. This ain't got nothing to do with somebody getting killed by the cops. I travel this country, and racism is not existing in America. It's only existing on fucking the news. Okay?
Oh, all right. Okay.
Racism exists in the news. You in America, like I always tell somebody, you take the most racist man, white man, and he goes into a bar, and the most racist black man, he goes into a bar. After 30 minutes, they buying each other drinks.
Yeah, I completely agree with what you just said. Completely agree with that.
That's what's happening. It's all bullshit. These people have been duped. People have been duped to believe that reparations has something to do with racism. Reparations has something to do with this group of people. There's a group here that was promised a certain amount of money. So I don't care if you ain't never had to go to the back of the bus. That got nothing to do with what you owed. You are owed what you owed. This is what they wrote down. They wrote it down, dude. This is not a verbal thing that somebody said, yo, I'm gonna make sure that I got you. No. This is something that was signed. And the next guy came over and shut it down.
Okay.
That's the problem.
Okay,
The
that being
problem
said,
is, Ulric, I cannot stress this anymore. This has nothing to do with racism. This has to do with a debt that's owed. And if anybody tells you that this country can't pay its debts, then they better watch the fuck out, because this country should be the country that pays all its debts and lives up to all its promises. All the promises that this country makes, that put it in paper. And you know they use one pen to sign that shit. Then they take the pen and they use a different pen to sign some other shit. Okay? This shit was it was signed into fucking law that we're gonna pay this group of people. That group of people is still small as fuck.
but then you can say that about it being vetoed.
No, it can't be vetoed.
Yes,
It
you
can't be
can.
vetoed.
It's
A
president
promise.
has the right to veto.
Yes, but
there's no such thing as promises in the government. So if you're
Governments
being
don't make promises.
there's no such thing as a promise. There's a legislation. There's a repealing of said legislation. It doesn't matter if you made a freaking promises. It's not a parent.
Yeah, like what happened with the HBCUs, where Trump gave all the HBCUs 10 years worth of funding, and then the next guy comes right behind them and shuts it down.
Yeah.
That's horrible. That's just disgusting. So what are we to do here? We don't hold people up to the things that they say.
I mean, yeah, but listen, like the point that it was, because your argument is that it was a debt and it was written into law, and the fact that it was repealed has to be respected as much as the same way that it was written. And I'm not saying that the repealing was good or anything. I'm just saying for basis of that it was written doesn't mean. I think in order to push reparations, I think the good argument for reparations, and I heard this once on the Great Mo Fact Show, is that it'll make
with Adam Curry.
With Adam Curry, thank you. I got to put some respect on Adam.
Right.
But the one great argument was for reparations. It is because it would make it so black people could not complain anymore, or could not blame outside factors on their situation. I think that's the only effect. I think that's the only productive thing that reparations even can do. I don't think anything else.
Stop the bitching and moaning.
Yeah, I think that and that's the only thing it will serve as. So I don't know.
Hey, I think it's a good argument. I think you have a good argument. But the argument that the money's not there is ridiculous. I disagree. Can I tell you why this might be more possible now, reparations, than ever before?
Yeah.
Because we live in a capitalistic society. America is based on value for value. I got this shirt here. I'm going to put a name on this shirt, and I'm going to sell this shirt for what I think is worth. And the market is going to tell me whether they're going to buy it or not. Okay? Gotcha. And if you're Louis Vuitton, then all the shirts that don't sell, you take them and you put them in the incinerator. That's what they do. With all the bags, all the shirts, all these high-end fashion houses, anything that doesn't sell, doesn't go on sale, it gets burned. That's how you keep the product at a certain level, right? Value for value. America's a beautiful place for this. The thing, value for value. America's a different fire. The bags. I got distracted by this car driving by me so slow. Forgive me. We're in the car doing it this way until we working out studio things. Even though I think the dock something might be happening with the dock, but we're gonna figure that out. Okay, I got it. What it is that in this capitalistic society, in order for capitalism to work, you have to have the bottom class. The bottom class has been the 50 million American descendants of slavery that's lived in this country for the last X amount of hundreds of years. And they've kept the control of that 50 million by mass incarceration and by abortions and stuff like that, has helped keep that population down, because 1 million black babies are aborted every year in America. Also, 1 million white babies are aborted in America, but there's 300 million more whites versus just the 50 million. So there's definitely a mindset here on on children and birth and all these different things that's going on. So you have this small population of the 50 million that are owed this proverbial debt, right? So now we have an influx of migrants. They no longer are aliens, illegal aliens, they're migrants. So we have this huge influx of migrants that has reached, I think, 2 million people now. And out of the 2 million people, 80% of the women that came into this country are pregnant in the last year. So that means we have minimum of 500,000 babies that are about to be born. We are creating the bottom class. Reparations can happen. Reparations can happen because in a capitalistic society, you need the bottom class. So by all these immigrants flooding into your cities and flooding into your towns, we're creating a new bottom. We're creating the new people that are going to wash the cars, that are going to do all these menial jobs, so that when reparations does happen, it doesn't throw the economy into a craziness. Because if you got 50 million people with $25,000 coming to them for 15 years or whatever have you, whatever the numbers are, and you know, land being given to these people, you know, so many different things are going to be happening where people are afraid that the dollar is going to it's going to destroy the dollar. It's going to you're going to be paying $2.50 for a can of Coke, maybe $5 for a can of Coke if reparations happens. So in order to control this reparations thing, this migrant situation is perfect. They're the bottom class. They're going to leave the room for the ADOS, which is the American descendants of slavery, to get out of the bottom.
I never actually thought of it that way.
Boom. Premium Black News. You're not going to hear what anyone else is saying. No one else is telling you that. Thank God the migrants are here, because we need a bottom class in a capitalistic society. No one is telling you that. Big Elvis the Chef is telling you that. And I'm telling you, thank you for allowing all these migrants in. We need a bottom class. I know I'm sick of being the bottom class. I'm sick of only making $50,000, $60,000 a year and having more money than everybody around me. I'm sick of that shit. Aren't you?
Yeah, I don't really think about it that much.
Well, you are appreciated for tuning into Premium Black News, and that's a fact.
For sure.
Let me see. Come on, Ulric, read some of these things here, man. There's a lot going on here, I think.
Happy Wednesday night, LJ. LJ showing a lot of love. How you doing, LJ? Where's Stephen Ladder? Sounds like some Jerry Springer.
They were talking about the young lady, I'm sure.
No wonder he left. Yeah, there's a lot of... The chat was hot with this lady.
Yeah, the
so
chat
she
was
got
hot.
trapped by Pookie.
The Larry Elder
racist.
kept them watching. The few are still watching, but Larry Elder and this Democratic race is like, But it's still Premium Black News, y'all.
All right.
I'm Big Elvis the Chef Rosenberg, sitting here with a friend and my co-host.
And I'm Ulric, sitting here with Big Elvis the Chef.
That's a fact. And I love you. And look, the sun is almost all the way down. Press that X button for me in the corner. Boom.